Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a Brilliant Businesses podcast. My name's Nick Bryant, and this morning I'm with Chris Downton from Children with Cancer Fund. Morning, Chris.
Good morning.
How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good.
Sun's shining today.
It's the last ray. Summer's still here. So just a bit of background about Children with Cancer Fund. They grant wishes to children up to the age of 18 and their families who have or have had cancer in East Sussex, Brighton and Hove. Chris is going to tell us the story about Children with Cancer Fund, how it came about. And I love the quote he's got on the website, which is, "From the kitchen table to the gates of Buckingham Palace." So just shows us how far you've come.
It's been a journey.
Yeah, so tell us about it, Chris. I don't know where you're going to start, but
Yeah, where do you start? And I think on your introduction you said about the children and the family. That's one of the big things.
Yeah.
It's not just the poorly child, it's the whole family get affected by cancer, childhood cancer, because nanny and granddad, mum and dad, they all get drawn into it with looking after siblings and that sort of thing. So yeah, but the start, we always did hospital radio together, four of us, me, my wife's sister and her husband. We did Polegate Carnival together, did various things together, and we were just out one night and said, we want our own baby.
Okay.
We want something we believe in. Yeah. And so it was just like, well, let's go around the table and say what we're passionate about.
Yeah.
Ursula and I were both saying children, because bearing in mind we were young, free and single to a certain extent, with no children, any of us.
Yeah.
We were saying children. James had just lost his uncle to cancer, and Kirsty's one of these clever people that matches blood for children with cancer sort of thing, and adults. So there was two saying children, two saying cancer. We just said, why don't we call it something like Children with Cancer Fund? It says on the tin then what we do. Yeah. We're passionate about it, and it means that it won't be an onerous task. It's something we'll love doing. Yeah. And not realising 25 years ago that it would come to what it is, so to speak. Yeah.
Did you have like full-time jobs at that point as well?
Oh, yeah.
So you're doing it on the side, if you like?
Yeah, very much so. We were all working, and then over a weekend we'd go out and do China smashing stalls or do a boot fair or something like that, just to get some money up together. And Joy and Brenda, Joy used to live 2 doors up from us, and she was one of the house domestics on the Friston ward. Okay. So she said that they were trying to get an oncology suite together on the Friston ward for children that were in for 3 months. Yeah. So they had their own bathroom, and parents could sleep in with the child. And it's like, well, what a great first project. We'll help them, we'll buy the telly, it was DVDs and videos and that in those days. Yeah. And we just sort of went out having fun, because fundraising is the first 3 letters.
Yes, right.
So FUN, if you're having fun, everyone wants a part of it, and it's brilliant. Yeah. It's quite contagious.
I could imagine.
So that's where it started. So we raised some money. Then a child in Polegate was nominated to us by her nan. Okay. So we did a theatre trip, actually, to the Panto. There was the 4 of them. Yeah. And we bought them a little sweet pack and things like that. And it just snowballed on from there, really. It was one of those that you start talking to the mums. Yeah. The mums talk to another mum in the hospital. The nurses then started ringing us saying, "Oh, I understand you do that. We've got this family." Yeah. And that's where it all really started snowballing. Okay. Nurse moved from one hospital to another hospital. Yeah. So that hospital then starts contacting us.
People talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier that people don't realise actually the fact that after cancer, you mentioned that some children that go into a system to have treatment and then come out and feel like they shouldn't really get any more help, but that's where you step in sometimes.
Well, we've never, like a lot of charities, do the wish, bye, thank you very much, sort of thing. End of treatment, bye, thank you very much. Yeah. We're very much a case of you're 0 to 18 and you're with us on that journey. Yeah. The main reason for that is because those families that have been there, seen it, done it, are such a support for new families coming in.
Of course, yeah.
You can talk to a doctor or nurse, they know the theory, but to talk to a real mum or dad,
must be,
so it doesn't stop just because their cancer treatment's finished. chemotherapy might have affected their heart or their lungs or something else. So they're then just a different hospital.
Yeah.
You're off to Evelina now because you've got issues with your lungs or issues with your heart and things like that. So it kills the cancer, but it also affects other bits of the body.
Yeah, and the families around them as well, of course.
And again, the family is what's being affected. Because mum and the child or dad and the child are up to hospital for 7 weeks and then come back home. This is where, like, the caravans are very useful because it's regrouping time.
Yeah.
It gives them an opportunity to get back together as a family.
Yeah.
And have a little holiday, have a break sort of thing. So
you own, like, 3 or 4 caravans in the local area?
Yeah, we've got 3 caravans now. 2 of them at Coomhaven, and 1 of them is at Pevensey Bay. But, you know, it's one of those things that we can put a price on it because we worked it out at like £34 a person for a week.
Okay,
But to actually hire a caravan, you're talking of £1,000 a week sort of thing.
Yeah.
So the benefits of it far outweigh anything else, but
I think so a family's going through it, I mean, a holiday is just what they need, isn't it? And they can all just go to the caravan. They don't have to pay any bills, they don't have to worry about anything else, and they can spend some time with their family and rejuvenate, I guess. Because
once they're inside the gates, they can be anywhere, any campsite sort of thing. So it is really good. And also on the occasion where they're bereaved, they just want to escape from doctors, nurses, and just to be able to give them the keys and say go. Yeah, it's such a valuable asset, sort of thing.
Yeah. Now you're based in Polegate.
Yeah, Lower Willingdon at the Triangle now.
Yes, at Lower Willingdon. Yes. And you can see it when you drive past through Lower Willingdon, and you're in a situation where that building is owned by you.
Yeah, we were very, very lucky. During COVID, the landlord of the place we were renting had to downsize his company, and the building us and the garage door and the costume people were in, he wanted that back, so served us notice, and we basically had to find somewhere else. So driving around trying to find a place, and the owner of the building was actually in there doing it up from where it was an old doctor's surgery. Okay. So we spoke to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, like what you do. You can rent it, either that, or you can buy it off me," sort of thing. So we started renting it, and then it's like, hang on, we're paying all this rent. He said we could buy it, so we agreed a price. We'd had 2 legacies from customers of mine, which we'd put aside to replace the caravans originally. Yeah. But it's like, well,
use that. Yeah.
We've got that sitting in the bank to replace the caravans, but if we use it now, we had a couple of very good donations, shall we say, which finished off and meant, wow, we've got this money. Yeah. We can do it. Yeah. So we actually purchased the building. Nice. And the building itself's got a 2-bedroom flat upstairs. So we rent that out. Yeah. And that pays, so we don't pay any rent. The rent from upstairs pays electricity for us down in the office. Excellent. And the rates and all the boring bits. Yeah,
but those boring bits though, they would, they're being spent on boring things. But if they weren't, they'd have to be spent on, or the families wouldn't get that money, would they? So it's
because we wouldn't be there.
Yeah. So that's brilliant. That's a real step forward, isn't it?
That was an amazing step forward, really, because you think you're saving £1,000 on rent. Yeah. So that's £1,000 directly that's gone straight back into the families. And it's it's quite lovely.
It's been a journey. Let's talk about some of the events you've got coming up, because people can help and get involved in those.
I mean, we've got Airborne coming up. We've got a stall down on the parade, which we've been given various bits and bobs. We've got tombolas going on and things like that. Down on the parade. So always looking for volunteers. Okay. There's openings in every charity, but with ourselves, we're always looking for people to come and do different bits and bobs. Yeah.
So I've spoken to other charities before, and really the main thing is it's raising awareness, but also having volunteers and having those support mechanism around you. Because you've got a really good team, haven't you? Let's talk about your team.
The team, couldn't do without it. Yeah. Really couldn't do without it. Amazing ladies and gents. Yeah. And if you go around the office, you've got Holly that does the admin. And that gets a lot of emails come in that she signposts to events or to the fundraising and that.
Yeah.
Irene, who does the fundraising side of it, so when we get a school email in or ring up saying we're doing a school fair, would you like to come and have a stall, she sorts all that side of it. Jess is our events coordinator, but she's just gone off on maternity leave.
Okay.
So it's one of those things that we needed someone to step into our shoes that had passion and knew about what we did.
Yeah.
So we were really lucky that Jeanette stepped into that role for covering Jess.
Okay.
Going around, we've got Poppy the PA. She's amazing. She does all of the bits and bobs, organising things, organising the fundraising stuff to go out and that. And Mick, volunteer, he does all the caravan bookings.
Yeah.
So the families request a week here and he does all his spreadsheets and that.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Helen, who does the newsletters, Helen and Anne, she does all of these newsletters.
Yep.
It's just a good team.
Good team.
Good team all round. There's obviously loads of other people like
Yeah.
Janice that wraps the teddies for us for the teddy tombolas and that. It's just all round. It's a really good team.
Yeah. And
I forgot to say about Chloe as well.
Oh, don't forget Chloe. No.
Chloe has done everything within the organisation, within the charity, and she's actually now taken the ops manager's job. So
Yeah.
she like runs the office, makes sure that.
Is Chloe's the one that left and came back?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I know Chloe. Yeah.
She went
yeah.
off to the Marsden,
Yes, sir.
and got to respect her. Young lady, freshly married.
Yeah.
An opportunity to work for a big organisation like the Royal Marsden, and she went off and tried it, but it's not always greener on the other side, is it, the grass?
No.
So she went and tried it. It wasn't what she wanted, and she realised that her heart was at home.
Yeah.
And we're so lucky to have her.
She probably learnt a lot from the Marsden as well to bring back.
Well,
Yeah,
this is exactly it.
Yeah.
So we're lucky to have her back, shall we say?
Good team. Great team.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier about also how when you've got an event, parents will talk to other parents and that support mechanism amongst them, how important that is.
Yeah, very much so. Because it's like, take Knockhatch for instance. We take a couple hundred people there and give them a day out, do a barbecue. The team at Knockhatch do a barbecue for us at lunchtime.
Yeah.
And that really brings the families together. So then, after lunch, you'll see like groups of half a dozen mums sitting together, or dads off rowing and sort of splashing each other on the boats and things like. It's just that sort of bringing them together and putting them with other families because they all have a Children with Cancer Fund wristband on, so they know who is actually who's involved with us.
Yeah.
And the kids, obviously, when the kids have got tubes dangling out their chest or no hair, they'll realise that they're part of it. And the kids play with kids; they've got no boundaries, have they?
No, absolutely.
And the kids then bring the parents together sometimes.
Yeah.
It's nice for them to be able to talk to someone who really gets what they're going through.
Yeah, and I think you probably get parents at different stages of it as well, don't you? So one might be in a worse situation, another who's been through that situation, and maybe comfort them.
And it does comfort, and it does work, because it's one of those things that if you've been there, seen it, done it as a real person, you know the pitfalls.
Yeah.
And so, someone who's fresh into it, and our families are so supportive of new families coming in. It's quite magical to see
that, and then you're part of it, or you've set that up, if you like. That probably gives you the inspiration. We spoke about that as well, and what drives you to keep doing this.
25 years of doing it, and every day is different. Absolutely. And it's doing the wish and knowing that you've given them a little ray of sunshine type of thing, and the light at the end of the tunnel's there. So it's just the families, the children, they're the inspiration. They're what keeps everyone going. So it can be silly things, their wishes are everything from new pair of shoes. We did some trainers the other day, and it's like a pair of trainers, but obviously 40, 50 quid
Oh,
when you've got petrol to go hospital and back.
Yeah.
They just haven't got it. So
Makes a big difference, doesn't it? Yeah,
those sort of things.
Yeah. So how can people help? How can people fundraise? What do you want them to do?
Well, they can help individually.
Yeah.
So, whether they're at work, whether they're in the school or anything like that, they can do a simple cake sale.
Okay.
Because bearing in mind, we're little and we know our place in society sort of thing. And 20 quid to us is 20 quid. And like the PE T-shirts we bought as a wish the other day, that was £21.
Right.
£7 for 3 T-shirts. So that's the sort of thing that 20 quid can buy.
Yeah.
And so individual things at work, dress down days, or at schools, again, dress down days, things like that.
Okay.
Or sustainability is a big word, because we'd love to be able to know and plan for the future. So we've got various things. You can go on the website and press the red button and do a regular donation each month.
That's what you want, isn't it?
That would be lovely. And there's corporate packages as well, where we have your name on the bottom of emails and things like that for corporate companies that want to do the not CRM.
Well, it helps them with their tax bill. Put it like that.
That's it. Yeah, corporate social responsibility thing. Because we are little and we haven't got the clever people that understand how to extract that. Yeah. Well, this podcast goes out to a lot of business owners. So please, if you want to get involved with Chris's charity, then go on the website, do a monthly donation. And it's great all round. Yeah, even if it's a £5.
Yeah,
would be that'd be unbelievable. 60 quid for a year, but you got that £60 coming.
500 businesses did that every.
Wow.
It'd be all right, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's what dreams are made of.
Exactly. So thanks, Chris. That's been awesome. You're doing an amazing job. When I go to events in Eastbourne in the area, like the other day, we did the Chamber Golf Day. You were the charity. I go to Fizz on Foots. You're the charity. And you often get up and speak. And I saw one of your speeches at a Chamber of Commerce meeting one morning, and everyone was in tears because it's so moving and what you're doing. So if anyone wants to help, then they can get in touch with you via the website, Chris. Yeah. They can ring you up. They can, I presume, just talk to you.
Anything basically. And the team are amazing at the office. And it's just www.childrenwithcancerfund.org.uk.
Okay, get in touch. Thanks again, Chris, and we'll see you for another podcast soon. Thanks, mate.
Super. Thank you.
Thank you.